Well, what is up guys, welcome to Cerny Gaming. If you want to help support the channel, go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Today we're going to be checking out Romeo, the Puppet King, one of the more interesting bosses in the Lies of P. With a little preparation and the right approach, we can easily make short work of him. Let's check out the enemy and then the strategy. The Puppet King offers a unique challenge by changing up the tempo from one phase to the next, forcing players to test their resolve against two entirely different kinds of opponent. Let's take a look at the details. The first thing to consider is preparation. The Puppet Destroyer's amulet helps here, since both phases fit that description. Because they're both puppets, it's also incredibly helpful to use electric blitz damage here, meaning switching to that grindstone upgrade. Throwing cells also deal a massive amount of damage to the Puppet King, so do be sure to stock up on those as well. It also helps if your weapon deals the blunt type damage, which puppets are weak to. If you happen to be built appropriately, the electric coil stick is the perfect weapon for this boss. In the first phase, you'll be faced with a hulking puppet somewhat similar to the Parade Master boss. The Puppet King has short-range punching attacks that are mostly aimed directly in front of him, along with some spinning attacks as well. If you're in close range, the Puppet King will mostly do downward punches with long wind-ups. Only the final hit needs dodged here, and it's very easy to do. If the boss lets out a short scream, that's your notice to get behind him or away from him, before he deals a flurry of melee attacks that can stun lock you. On occasion, the boss will start sucking air into his body. This is another sign to get far away before he blasts all that air out in an area around him, which is quite painful. If you stay too far away, the boss has some long-range slam attacks which are followed by a damaging circle around the area of impact, which should be avoided. The Puppet King may start throwing out widespread sweeping spin attacks if you stay at medium to long range, potentially followed by a lumbering hop over to close the distance. It's possible for the Puppet King to start firing out a volley of blue mines that will surround him. After a short delay, they'll begin to explode, and it's important not to get caught in the middle of that, but in my experience this is rare when you're fighting close range. The Puppet King may also start spinning his hands like a drill before charging at you if you stay too far away, which can deal an immense amount of damage. In this phase, most of the Puppet King's ranged attacks are far more dangerous than his melee attacks. The recommended strategy here is to get right underneath him and get this phase over with as fast as possible, ensuring that his slow attacks with high recovery times are punished extensively. When you see the boss begin to spin relatively slowly, a downward smash is coming. Just dodge to the side and keep up the onslaught, ensuring that you create some distance if necessary when the boss begins sucking in air. Everything else is manageable here. If you use a shade, which I recommend for long-winded or multi-phase bosses such as this, life is even easier. Getting behind the boss while he has aggro on the shade will make this phase incredibly easy. Play aggressively, deal as much damage as possible and get this phase over with fast. And then we have Romeo, the true Puppet King that resides within the boss that we've fought so far. This small humanoid opponent is fast, deals massive damage and is highly mobile around the arena. Here we must completely change our playstyle, but our blunt electric blitz setup will still be perfect. Romeo will slash and hook with his scythe often and quickly while in melee range, making staying close to him quite dangerous. It's advised to kite his attacks until favourable moments for you to retaliate come up. Be warned that while keeping your distance is advised, Romeo has a lot of gap closing capabilities. He may perform a variety of massive jump attacks towards you, followed by a scythe swing, one variant of which can be a fury attack. Once Romeo's health hits 50%, he will infuse his weapon with fire damage, and gain the ability to deal a flurry of flame attacks with his scythe. He may also slide forward, leaving a damaging trail of fire in his wake, so be careful of where you stand. This phase of the Puppet King boss is far more dangerous. His fast and painful attacks can be difficult to predict, so speed is important here, and for that, having your shade available is important. That means using the Friendship Wishstone for your cube, which I thought I had, and as you can see, tried to use before realizing I didn't. Don't be like me, keep your friends safe. We mentioned throwing cells and the electric grindstone buffs earlier, now is the time to use them. I throw electric grenades and drop shot canisters as well to keep the pressure high, all while Romeo is focused on the shade. Make the most of your tools for this fight, or it can get overwhelming. As long as you pay attention and keep kiting Romeo's attacks, he will miss. Having a weapon with good range on it will be absolutely invaluable for this fight. I'm using the trident gained from the boss ergo from the Archbishop. This is my favourite weapon until the scythe from this very boss. Continue kiting until Romeo completes a combo and then retaliate with heavy attacks. We use heavy attacks because we want the boss to get staggered, giving us an opportunity to really lay into him while he recovers, or even perform a fatal blow if you're lucky. keep kiting, attack, and don't get greedy, and you'll have everything that you need to put Romeo down for good. If you're not feeling too confident yet though, keep watching. I've included a clip of the full fight so that you can see how it's done. Thanks very much guys. If you enjoyed the video then don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Take care and as always have fun.